Curious about Chicago? Did you know you can watch the animals at Lincoln Zoo, get cultured at one of Chicago's top museums, and even order Chicago pizza, thin crust only folks, and watch a virtual cinema, all in the comfort of your home? Yes, you can do that. Learn how in my 10 cool things to do living in Chicago. When you're not living in Chicago, right damn now. Hi, I'm Anant Deoras, a local realtor, and I produce videos through my YouTube channel, Living in Chicago, Illinois. I want to paint a picture for people considering moving and relocating to Chicago, how it is to live and to work and to travel in this wonderful city. Today's topic is 10 cool things to do living in Chicago. Actually, from the comfort of your home. This is probably now the best time virtually to kind of experience Chicago. Unfortunately, now we're in June at the time of this recording. Things aren't open to the public yet, but that's not stopping people. And actually, you know, while this video is actually primarily for people moving and relocating, hey, Chicago, my fellow Chicagoans, these 10 and a bonus 11 item, some of you haven't even experienced. So let's get started into it. First on the list, 10 cool things to do. Living in Chicago, improv, virtual improv to be specific. Everybody knows about Second City, the world famous Second City Improv, which has honed the skills of the likes of Amy Poehler and Bill Murray. I want to shift the focus a little bit and talk about some little lesser known from people at least outside of Chicago. One is through the Bug House Theater. It's the Fowler Family Hour. It's a podcast. Check it out. I'm going to have a link scrolling on the lower thirds, and also all these links, folks, are going to be in the description of my YouTube video. Second, Stage 773 has, wait for it, Golden Girls parody show. Only $20, every dollar counts. Thank you for being a friend. That's it, that's all I'm gonna sing. Gotta check that out, parody show. I haven't checked out either. That's what I'm definitely gonna be doing. I'm planning on doing probably over the next couple of weeks. And finally, Comedy Sports. It's a twist on improv, kind of from a sports perspective. Typically in person, the crowd would get involved. Obviously, we can't at this moment, but you know, all of these and all 10, and actually the bonus 11th, eventually you're gonna get a feel. It's a great way to get a feel of the energy of the city and the neighborhoods. And so when you do make that move or relocation, when things open up, you can see them in person. Check out Comedy Sports. So much fun. It's virtual improv. You're probably getting tired of the improv or the virtual acts that you have in your city. So grab some friends, of course, you know, social distancing, right? And check out those 3 unique improv outside of Second City. That is the first one, virtual improv. Plays. Chicago has a really rich theater history. And so from the comfort of your home, there's a couple of options I want to mention for you to watch a virtual play. Number 1, BTD, the Belmont Theater District, which is in the Lakeview neighborhood. Check out their list of virtual play options right here. I've got a link going, and in the description you can check out that link and the costs. You're remiss if I didn't mention world famous Steppenwolf Theater for the likes of David Schwimmer, co-founder Gary Sinise, and of course from Roseanne fame, Laurie Metcalf, all originated. They have virtual workshops, so check that out for all ages. And finally, the Chicago Theater has some virtual theater options. They're just so numerous to mention. I've just mentioned 3 there. Go ahead and check out those 3, and as you're searching through those 3 and you're on Google of course will probably suggest a couple other options. So those are just 3 for the virtual plays that you can enjoy, again, from the comfort of your home. One of the most important tours in non-pandemic years is the architectural boat tour. And so we're not gonna let a pandemic stop us, folks. Through the Chicago Detours website, again, I have the website right here, you can take a 50-minute virtual presentation through Chicago's unbelievable architecture, which typically runs through the Chicago River. That is our main river. That's 50, and of course delivered through Zoom, or everyone's famous Zoom. Well, I know you're probably a little sick of Zoom. This is more fun. This isn't work related. So check that out. Within the same website, folks, you can also check out Neighborhood Tour Chicago with its 77 communities, designated communities, has also multiple neighborhoods under those communities. And at any given time, there are 6 neighborhoods that are offered through that website. You can check out pricings on that same link. You can get a kind of virtual tour of a neighborhood, and maybe one of those neighborhoods is somewhere where you'll eventually move to or relocate to. And finally, there's some unique tours you should definitely check out, such as 5 overlooked buildings that are iconic to Chicago, or the history of Chicago inventors. So those are 3 things you can do through the Chicago Detour website. And hey, it probably the best, feeling that sun when you're in a boat outside, but this is the next best thing, and make sure you share those links with your friends. So personally, I would rather see animals, particularly at a place like Lincoln Park Zoo, in the comfort of my home. It probably smells better, right? But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, including a whole plethora of beautiful museums of Chicago, you or your kids or your cousins or nieces or nephews can experience the Lincoln Park Zoo and see all the beautiful animals. They usually have some cute babies in there with the live stream. Check that out. I've got a link going which has a comprehensive list, about 7 to 10 museums that also include the Lincoln Park Zoo, so you can virtually take in the culture of Chicago. So when you do make that move and relocate, you're already a Chicagoan. Check it out. So this one right here is for my local Chicagoans. And if you say you're not doing this, you're probably lying. Virtual happy hours, specifically breweries. Many of you don't know that Chicago does have a plethora of breweries. And actually, I've got a Google Doc that is in the description, also is going to be running on the lower thirds of this video, that is actually Illinois. It's a comprehensive Illinois list, but any zip code you see, 312, 773, even some of those 708 and 630s, hey, make a little trip out of it. Go out to the suburbs, check out those breweries, bring some brewskis back home, and have a virtual happy hour with your friends. It's totally fun, and actually people that are moving here, that's something that you should know. If you're a beer enthusiast, there's plenty of beers. I've done multiple videos. Check out my Chicago neighborhoods video. I'm gonna have it in the description. And in there I have a couple of breweries, particularly in Ravenswood, Chicago. Check that out, a couple breweries there. But yeah, this is this step here. Do your next virtual happy hour. Instead of picking up the margarita or the Moscow Mule, get a craft beer to go and support those local breweries. If any of you are like me, you guys are missing the theater experience, right? Getting that buttery popcorn, getting that candy, getting that soft drink, and really taking in the experience of the theater. Well, we don't know when the next movie is gonna be coming. It's gonna be coming. We all have to be positive it's gonna be coming. But for the interim, there's a couple of places that have a virtual cinema option. Number one, the Gene Siskel Film Center. Gene Siskel, along with Roger Ebert, were world-renowned film critics. They both passed away. However, Gene Siskel through his legacy, has the Film Center. And if you're more into the avant-garde of kind of movies, they've got a couple of options. I have the link. Check it out. For a little bit more mainstream, kind of more mainstream, Music Box Theater over in that Southport corridor area of Lincoln View, the Lakeview neighborhood, has some more mainstream and also some avant-garde options. What's really great about this, for more of the local residents, they offer popcorn packages. That's one of the biggest things you probably miss, and probably if you've got kids. So definitely check out those packages. It's all contactless pickup. So you can order your movie first and then decide on a package. The kiddos can get some candies, you can get some popcorn, and you can also get some adult beverages. Of course, ID is required. So you have your beverages, your popcorn, the kiddos have their candy and popcorn, and you as a family, or if you're on your own, can enjoy a movie. One of the biggest things as Chicagoans we're gonna be missing is the festival season, and specifically the music, the concerts. We're probably gonna be missing that. Maybe the August, September, anything opens up. whatever ones that was on the schedule may be limited with limited amount of people. So in lieu of that, virtual concerts. Establishments like Fitzgerald's, Hideouts, Rosa's, and actually for the local Chicagoans, the Music's Independent Quarantine Concert. I probably murdered that. I'm gonna have links below. The fun thing about that is they actually drive around in a truck and they blast the music and they go through the neighborhood. It's kind of fun, and it's helping independent musicians. So definitely look into that and support them if you're local. If you are moving or relocating, or you're kind of thinking about moving to Chicago, check out those other three, Fitzgerald's, Hideout, Rosa's, to kind of give a flavor of the Chicago music scene, which is alive and well. It's a little bit on hiatus, but they're ready to go, revving to go once things kind of open up. But check that out, virtual concerts. If you can't go to the concert will come to you. Check it out. Okay, something for my movers, my relocators, something to look forward to is Chicago Emerald Necklace. And I'm a little embarrassed. I have not checked this out, living so long here, working and living in Chicago. It is 26-mile boulevard system connecting 8 of our beautiful parks. And so it's more of like a scenic drive. Chicagoans, my residents, check it out. I mean, what better way to lower the windows, get some fresh air, and socially distance while doing that 26-mile drive up and down, contemplate life, and just take in some of the air and actually stop. At this moment, parks slowly are opening up, and so you can stop at each of the parks and kind of take in some of the nature, social distance of course. But this is the Chicago Emerald Necklace. Check it out. I'm gonna post what I know below in the description, but that's just another option. And also for you folks that are thinking of moving, something to look forward to and a scenic drive they should absolutely check. Okay, another one for people moving here to get, I guess, excited for. If weed is your cup of tea, I have a thorough list of Chicago dispensaries that are available now. And of course, more will open up as we enter more phases in Chicago and things open up a little bit more. But for my local residents, probably already know. So if you didn't know, Chicago marijuana is legal. There are specific state rules. So I advise you, I'm not an attorney, check out those rules on that. But for some, not my cup of tea, but for some, that's something to look forward to when you make that move and relocate to Chicago. So that is Chicago dispensaries, the weed. And finally, actually not finally, because I do have a bonus 11th, but number 10 in the 10 cool things to do when living in Chicago, the National Museum of Mexican Art. We can't experience, as I mentioned earlier, the culture of museums, but this is really one. Make sure you add to your bucket list once you eventually get here, move or relocate to Chicago. But in the interim, go to the National Museum of Mexican Art's website. There are actually some really cool activities for kids and kids at heart, for kids and adults. Check that out, check out their website. And when things eventually open up, actually there's some really underrated vintage shopping in the wonderful, warm Pilsen, diverse neighborhood of Pilsen. So go check out the museum, do some vintage shopping, and I think your day is complete. Bonus time, woohoo, bonus time, number 11. Cool things to do living in Chicago, date night. I can't speak from experience. I've been single in the quarantine, but hey, more power to you. If date night is getting a little bit stale wherever you're living now and you want to do something unique, how about for my geeks out there? Is that the proper term, or is it nerds? There is Geek House. They've got some geek trivia. I'll have the link in the description. For the couples who paint together, stay together, VIP paints. You can do some virtual painting. There's all the instructions also below in the description. How about something a little bit spicy? Ooh, spicy. Quarantine cabaret, kind of mix it up. Don't know much really about it. I have the links in there. Go ahead and check it out. It's not anything that risque, but check it out if that's something that you guys want to do to spice things up in the relationship. And finally, if you remember, pizza, right? Pizza is a really, really hot button issue. Don't do the deep dish, okay? Well, maybe if you want to try the deep dish, try the deep dish. Doesn't really matter. I'm more of the thin crust guy. But Lou Malinati's, it's tasteofchicago.com. Pizza, hot dogs, great chocolate cake from Portillo's, and Garrett's popcorn. You can actually get it shipped. So once you get a flavor of the food, right, you're getting a flavor of the culture, you're getting a flavor of the animals, you're getting a flavor of the improv, the world famous improv, the theater, food. You got to get the flavor of food, you can get it shipped. I've actually personally shipped it over to my sister and my nieces and nephews. They love it. Really simple to do, attractive pricing. Definitely check that out, tasteofchicago.com. I'll have that posted. There you have it. 10 cool things, and actually a bonus 11th. Cool things to do living in Chicago. I'm Anant Deoras, local realtor. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions at all? Call, text, email. My contact information is below. And as promised, I got a couple videos for you to check out. Right here, check out the neighborhoods of Chicago. And right over here, why don't you check out transportation options in Chicago.